gonna explain definition inflation and the formula how to calculate inflation rate. Definition inflation. Inflation is the rate of increase in prices over a given period of time. Inflation is typically a broad measure such as the overall increase in prices or the increase in the cost of living in a country. Inflation refers to the sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over a period of time, leading to a decrease in the purchasing power of a currency. For the formula, inflation rate is CPI1 minus CPI0 divided by CPI0 multiplied with 100.
So right now I'm going to talk about the data of inflation in Malaysia from 2020 to 2022. As you can see, the data record monthly CPI for 2020 starting from January until December. January record index is 122.4, while on December is 120.6. That means it's decreasing from the year, but the percentage from the previous month is increasing from 0.1 to 0.5. Next, we're gonna move to the next data, which is on 2021. The record still the same from January until December, but based on the index, it's increasing from 122.1 to 124.5. But the percentage for previous month is decreasing from 1.2 to 0.4. So next, the last data, which is on 2022. From the data index is increasing from January to December, which is 134.9 to 129.2. So as we already have the record, so let's calculate by using the formula that has been given. So the calculation for inflation rate for CPI in 2020 to 2022, the price index in 2020, which is 120.6. Next, for price of index for 2021 is 134.5, and the last price index for 2022 is 129.2. So let's move to the next formula that have been given for 2022. 124.5 minus 120.6 divided by 120.6 times 100 equal to 3.23%. In 2021, 139.2 minus 124.5 divided by 124.5 times 100 equal 3.77%. For the calculation overall from 2020 to 2022, which is 129.2 minus 120.6 divided by 120.6 times 100 equal to 7.13. So the inflation rate in Malaysia from 2020 to 2022 is 7.13%. That means the price for goods and services in Malaysia is increased about 7.13% over the 2-year period. That's it. Let's move to the next question.
Explain the effects of inflation. Effects of inflation have seen: first, reduced purchasing power; second, increased cost of living; third, uncertainty in financial planning; number 4, decreased savings value; number 5, wages and employee turnover; number 6, potential impacts on investment and interest rate. Reduced purchasing power. When there is inflation, money has less buying power and can only be used to purchase a smaller amount of goods and services per unit. Customers' standard of living may suffer as a result, particularly for those with fixed incomes. Increased cost of living. Businesses may see a decrease in profit margin as a result of higher production costs brought on by inflation. In the end, this might have an impact on job levels and possibly result in lower investment and slower economic growth. Uncertainty in financial planning. Unpredictable or high rate of inflation can add uncertainty to financial planning, making it challenging for both individuals and organizations to make long-term decisions about spending and investing. Decreased savings value. An income shift from savers to borrowers may result from inflation, while creditors see a decline in the true worth of the money they receive. Debtors profit by repaying debts with money that has less buying power. Wages and employee turnover. Increased rates of employee turnover may be attributed to inflation. If earnings don't keep up with the rising cost of living, workers may look for better jobs elsewhere. In an attempt to counteract the consequences of inflation, employees may seek other opportunities with greater compensation, which could lead to higher turnover rates. For businesses, high turnover rates can be expensive because they might result in costs for hiring, training, and lost productivity. Potential impacts on investments and interest rates. Higher interest rates are frequently the result of inflation as lenders try to make up for the gradual decline in the value of money. This may result in lower company in consumer investment and expenditure, which would have an impact on the economy as a whole.
Question C. In your opinion, what is the most effective solution to curb the inflation in Malaysia with current economic situation? In light of the current economic climate, a balanced strategy is required to reduce inflation in Malaysia. The government can concentrate on initiatives like regulating the money supply, managing aggregate demand, encouraging market competition, and making infrastructure investments to improve the effectiveness of the supply chain. In order to maintain economic growth and stabilize prices, it is also possible to promote productivity growth and regulate key sectors that are contributing to inflation by enacting targeted measures. Solutions to curb inflation in Malaysia. Number 1. Monetary policy. The central bank can use tools like interest rate adjustments to control the money supply. Raising interest rates can reduce spending and lending, which may help combat inflation. Number 2. Fiscal policy. The government can use taxation and spending policies to manage demand in the economy. Reducing government spending and increasing taxes can help reduce inflation pressures. Number 3. Supply-side policies. Inflation can be managed by addressing fundamental problems in the economy, such as productivity and removing supply constraints. Number 4. Wage and price controls. In extreme cases, governments can implement price controls and wage freezes to limit price increases. Number 5. Inflation targeting. The central bank can set a specific inflation target and use its policy tools to achieve and maintain that target. And lastly, number 6. Education and communication. Raising public awareness and understanding of inflation and its causes can help manage inflation expectations, which can affect consumer behavior.